Hello and welcome back to the Chicago White Sox March to October. It is finally time to start season number 2, the first ever second season of a March to October on this channel. And for me, this is my first time recording a video in like a month or so. Didn't plan on taking that month-long break, but it happened anyway. So hopefully I'm not rusty today for opening day, but I do kind of have a decent amount I want to do in this episode today, so I'm not going to waste any time. We're just going to go right ahead, get into opening day against the Tigers. It's a 1-1 game, top of the 6th, and we will get to see our new look team in action right away. Now I should point out here, just because we load in on this screen, this is not the lineup that I set. They automatically set a lineup for opening day. We'll get into it more after this episode. We'll talk about rosters and stuff, or not after this episode, after the game.
Opening day festivities wrapping up, and we'll be back to get this season started right after this. Luke Shambi alongside Chris Singleton, our partner, ready to go. Always a pleasure to get things started with you on opening day.
Well, Happy New Year, buddy, and anyone that's involved in baseball, even though it's not January 1st, this is the start of a new year. Every team has playoff hopes. I love this time of the year. I'm excited to get things going. And now,
so they showed our rankings there from last season, and I actually didn't know any of those because I don't think that's something you can see in the March to October menus. We were already one of the best teams in baseball last year, and we just kind of folded in the playoffs. But we got so much better in the offseason. So many big additions, Trey Turner being the big one. He's our new second baseman, not for this episode because they automatically set the lineups, but going forward, Trey Turner will be our new second baseman. We got Miguel Sano, we got Taylor Rogers, we got another big arm in the rotation, Luis Severino. We are stacked heading into this season. Man, he's battling here in the first at bat of season number 2. This is like 10 pitches already. No, this will be the 9th. Now it's up to 10. Oh my god. I legitimately could not think of a worse way to get back into playing March to October than one of those endless foul ball CPU at bats, but we finally win it. Pop fly to center. Hopefully it doesn't take 11 or 12 pitches for every out. There we go. That at bat didn't take as much. Like I kind of alluded to in the pregame stuff, we will be talking about rosters, lineups, all that sort of stuff after this opening day game here, but I'm going to save it for after the game. I want to focus on the game itself, and that's a 1-2-3 inning for Lance Lynn. And there's the new guy, Trey Turner. He's leading off. Cool. Right away, we get to take an at bat with our new player, and he's already made an impact. He's driven in the only run of the game. He has a double, and they have Aaron Nola on the mound. I remember they signed him. I think they also signed Nathan Eovaldi, so the Tigers are maybe moving up a little bit, maybe making this division a little bit more competitive. Oh, and I couldn't get around on the fastball. Not how I wanted my first at bat with Trey to go. This is how you know that the game still has Tony La Russa as the manager. There's nothing I can do about it. He's got not only Leury actually starting on this loaded team, but batting in the 2-hole. And that's a pretty decent swing, and it's just not going to go anywhere. That would have been nice if it was in the gap. And, I got around on the fastball that time, just got on top of it. So we trade 1-2-3 innings here. We're going to have to score, obviously. 3 more innings left to do that. Yeah, I knew that was a bad pitch. I think I was starting to get careless there after all the foul balls in the last inning. Figured all I needed to do was get the ball over the plate, but of course, they're pro hitters. Torkelson's going to hit that out. Oh my god, okay, I don't know how much longer I can let Lance Lynn pitch. He cannot buy a strikeout right now. We'll get to 2 strikes, and then it's just foul ball after foul ball, with the occasional take. Was that 10 pitches again? I think that was another 10 pitch at bat. I think the next base runner Lance Lynn allows is going to be it for him, because I just don't know how much more I can handle. There we go. That's a quick at bat. If Turner can make the play, get it there, Trey. Come on. That always happens. Whenever I say a pitcher has one more base runner left before I take him out, there's always something dumb that happens. It's either a bloop hit, an error, just bad fielding, but not technically an error. Then it makes me feel like I shouldn't take him out because it definitely wasn't Lynn's fault. That was dangerous, dude. Are we gonna make the play? No. I don't want to take him out now with 2 outs in the inning, but I have to. We gotta make sure we nail this down. Don't let it become anything. Graveman, get in this game, buddy. Jeez, dude, more of the same from Graveman? Are you kidding me? Have they made, like, changes to this game or something in the last month that I haven't been playing? I mean, I've been playing MLB The Show, just not March to October. Is the CPU just, like, crazy now? What is happening? This is the most foul balls I've ever seen. So I've thrown 48 pitches in not even 2 full innings since I've come into this game. There have been 19 foul balls. There are more foul balls than any other single pitch result there is. This is ridiculous. This is gonna make me quit for another month. Oh my God. Oh, we are back and we are ready to go, aren't we? 9 pitch at bat for a bloop single to drive in another run. That is what we live for on this game. I don't even know. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? You throw it in the zone, it's gonna get fouled off. You throw it out of the zone, it's gonna get taken or fouled off. There we go. Oh my God. All right. Well, we were gonna have to score anyway. Hey, there we go. That is staying fair, right? Okay, jeez. Everything about that was indicating it was staying fair, but I swear that looked like it was going to tail foul. So Pollock is the owner of our first home run of the season. Brings us back to within 1 here. That was big. We needed that. Turning on a fastball and it actually leaving. Sheets needs a big season. Not off to a great start, but he needs a bounce back. He should mash righties with his attributes. He didn't quite do that last year, and that's the pitch to do it on. That's my fault. Oh my God, he's trying to let me hit a home run, and I'm refusing to. Oh, that would have been ball 4. That was a really good pitch, though. Like, you can't not swing at that pitch with 2 strikes. You just gotta hope you foul it off instead of do what I did. Let's get him in here just because I want to see him. We couldn't use him for the whole first year, but he's finally here on the White Sox big league squad. Garrett Crochet is back. He's an 86 overall now, and he's probably gonna hit a 90 before we even know it. Oh, yeah, nobody's hitting Crochet this year. Yeah, take your seat, Badu. Okay. He's missing just out of the zone here, and we're actually getting takes from Torkelson here. Look at that, dude. All 4 of those pitches. All 4 of the balls were, like, right there. Oh, we can't see them because now it's a new at bat, but I swear they were all right there. Tired of the weak hits already. It's game 1. It's my first March to October game in a month, and I'm already tired of the weak hits. That was a lie. That was not 95 off the bat. Thank you. Way out ahead of that circle change. Alright, you gotta make this play, Garrett, buddy. There we go. Strong arm there. I think that was a good inning, even though he gave up a walk and a hit. I don't think anything they did at the plate was too impressive against him. Oh, dude, I didn't think that was going to end up in the zone, and then I was too late. This is not a good opening day, man. And that's not going to drop in. All right, well, we're going to have to do it in the 9th. Got to keep it where it's at here in the top, and then we got to score at least 1. Let's do the same thing here with Crochet, but with Joe Kelly. We couldn't use him all of last season either. That one being a little bit more unrealistic because obviously in real life he was not out for the whole season. It feels like it because he got injured again, but we should have been able to get him back last year and we just weren't able to. And he is just off to a great start. Can't throw a strike. Good job. That's what we need there. Are they going here? Is that a free out? Thanks, game. And there we go, another ground out or a ground out. I don't know why I said another. And that should do it. Robert in center field with the fly ball. Ended up being a pretty solid inning for Joe Kelly, and now we have to score. 2, 3, and 4 coming up here in the top half of the inning, and it's probably not going to be Larry actually hitting. Oh, they got Chafin coming in. I don't think his jersey number is actually 49.2, but that would be pretty cool. Larry is actually much better against lefties, so I could leave him in, and that wouldn't be that bad, but we need runs. So Andrew Vaughn is going to come into this game, and if we need to, we'll figure out the defense later. Worry about scoring now. I couldn't tell if I got enough of that to get over his head, but not even close. Told me I had a late swing there. Robert? Really? I mean, sure. I guess that's under the zone, but like PCI goes down there. That was a pretty good PCI. 99 contact, 91 power, and that only came off the bat at 80. All right, we will take the walk. Tying run going on to first, and we will do exactly that. I was going to pinch run anyway. Going to get Angle in this game, get his 93 speed out there on first. Gapper has to tie the game. Or we can just pop up on the first pitch to Pollock, and that'll end the game. So we're starting off things with disappointment, which honestly, at this point, as a White Sox fan with where they're at in real life, just seems fitting. You always want to win opening day, obviously, but it's at the end of the day, that's only one game, and it's the first game. You have 161 more to make up for it. I don't think that first game there is very indicative of how this season's going to go, especially with how this team looks now. Which, speaking of, after we go through these sims here, I want to look a little bit at our rosters, a little bit at maybe our minor leagues. That'll probably be the end as far as gameplay goes for this opening day episode, but stick around because we do have some more to talk about. And man, we are just losing, aren't we? I think we did win one though. I think we won game 2 against Detroit. And now we gotta beat Kansas City to avoid getting swept. And yeah, that one will be starting in the 7th, so we will save that for the next episode. But let's first talk about what the lineup is actually gonna look like. This is how I set it here. Wow, you got regression already kicking in for Trey Turner. That is not good. That does not make me feel good. Maybe, I mean, it does. I feel like this does happen a lot where like in April, for some reason, everyone regresses and nobody progresses. And then like progression starts to kick in after a month. That's just my personal experience, I feel like. But yeah, Turner is going to bat leadoff. Anderson's going to bat 2. If you go back and forth between them, their hitting is basically identical, so we'll give Turner and his speed the leadoff spot, and then TA can bat 2nd. You know Anderson's got to play short, though. He's got to stay there in his spot, so Trey Turner can be the one that moves to 2nd, and as long as his fielding doesn't keep going down, he should retain that silver fielding badge there. Then we got Luis Robert in the 3-hole against righties. I mean, 75-74 is not bad. It just looks not amazing when it's next to how good he is against righties, but that should get the job done. Eloy is going to bat 4th, and he's going to be the DH. That's where I'm going to put him for this year. I kind of, in that offseason video, talked about how some combination of Vaughn, Sheets, or Sano was going to DH, but after I looked at everything, Vaughn does have better fielding, and he's like that tier above Eloy, so he gets that bronze fielding badge. He's got a little bit more of an arm too, a little bit less speed. I think it's what, 17, 19 less speed, which is pretty significant in the outfield. That's almost a thing that could even out how good their fielding is, with Eloy being a bit faster. But when you factor in everything, I think it would be better to have Eloy DHing, because that would also mean that he should play more games. They probably won't sit him nearly as much while he's the DH, so we'll have his bat in the lineup basically every day. Then we got Pollock in right, batting 5th. Grandal is behind the dish. We got Vaughn playing left, like we already said, batting 7th. And this is, you know, this is subject to change, because he is definitely still weaker against righties. It's just he played so well against both sides last year that I don't want to not start him against righties like I did last year. But we do have Sano who's got 99 power against righties. So if Vaughn starts to have some issues, we could mix things up and then have Sano start. And then we got Sheets playing first against righties. I already kind of touched on it, but he's got to have a big bounce back year against righties with those numbers. And then Moncada is going to round it out. Against lefties, same top of the order here with Turner, Anderson, Luis, Robert. We got Vaughn batting fourth, though. He's still in left. Pollock batting fifth. Grandal, and then Sano is going to be playing first. I thought about having Sano DH and then Eloy playing left and Vaughn playing first, because Sano's fielding is technically worse than Eloy's is, but Eloy being in the outfield, I think his bad fielding would have more of an impact than Sano's bad fielding at first. So we'll just have Sano play first, then Eloy DH, and Moncada will be back in the 9 hole. I also could, but I'm not going to do it yet, but we'll see how things start shaping up. But Leury is actually a much better hitter against lefties than Moncada is. Way better contact and only 2 less power. Higher vision even too. So if Moncada can't do anything against lefties, you know, if we check back in on the stats in a couple weeks or something, then I'll probably make that switch and Leury will play third. Oh, and I didn't even realize I have the positions there wrong. So then, yeah, that's how things should be looking on offense. Pitching wise, Lynn, he's already down 2. He started at an 88. -1s across the board, and he's gone down to an 86. I mean, 35 years old, you had to imagine regression was going to kick in. I just hope it doesn't keep going that fast. But then you got Giolito, Kopech, everyone's just going down here to start. Severino is what I am very excited about. We have him locked down for very many years here. Actually, I'm confused because didn't I mean, it was a while ago now that I did it, but didn't I use the guaranteed accept thing when signing him? I could have sworn I did, and that should have been for 7 years. It looks like we only have him for 5, but either way, that shouldn't be that big of a deal. Then we got Cease rounding things out. Lopez and Luzardo back as long relievers this year. Hopefully they can replicate what they did last year. Looks like Luzardo's not off to the best start, but that would be very nice if those guys could pitch like they did last year. Crochet, I really hope the game uses him, because I feel like this is a guy that needs to get plenty of innings because he's going to be very effective. Then we got Graveman and Kelly as our other 2 righties that are not closers. Bummer and Taylor Rogers as lefties. And then Liam Hendricks back as the closer, also regressing. There's one key name missing here from the bullpen, and that's Christian Javier. Both him and Joe Kelly were 75 overalls, and we did not get to manually set our opening day roster, and the game decided to go with Joe Kelly over Christian Javier, and I would very much rather have Christian Javier on this team. So I really hope we get a call-up chance to bring him back up, but there is part of me that's worried because like all of last season, we didn't get a call-up chance to bring up either Joe Kelly or Garrett Crochet, and remember, as far as the game was concerned, they weren't injured. So I don't know, I just really hope we get a chance to call Christian Javier up from the minors, because I would much rather have him. But speaking of the minors, we can look through that a little bit. We got to go to our trade management screen. It's the only way we can see the minors. And actually, I guess I completely forgot, we do have the entire trade management section to look at. So positional needs, I have relief pitcher just because I feel like you can always use relief pitching. And then I have catcher and right field because both AJ Pollock and Grandal have expiring contracts. We do have their immediate replacements ready to go, so I don't really need to trade for anybody who's like already very established at those positions, which is why in team needs I have position prospects and pitching prospects as our only team needs, because that's really all we're looking for now is some prospects. I don't have anyone to target yet, because like, I don't know, I feel like it's kind of tough to go through and target prospects, especially ones that we could actually get with what we'd be able to offer, because what I'm prepared to offer isn't all that strong. So my players to shop here consist of Kyle Crick, just because he's not going to be good enough to make the team anymore with what our bullpen's looking like. We got Yermin. He was a 70 overall, but I guess there might still be some value the team could have in someone with pretty decent hitting like that. Romy kind of the same way, but he's more of a versatile utility guy. Maybe someone would want to give up a mid-level prospect for him, and then Sean Burke rounds it out. I don't know, he could be decent. see potential, only 23. He could end up being a decent pitcher, but I don't really have any problem getting rid of him. And I feel like we do have a couple more players kind of similar to these four, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see what trades pop up, because I'm not really looking to make a whole lot of trades, if any, throughout this entire season. I feel like our team is set. There's no injuries in March to October, so we don't have to worry about that. I really don't feel like there's any trades I need to make to improve my current MLB squad. But there are a couple of fun things here looking through the entirety of the rosters, because everything that's not at the MLB level just gets like automatically done by the CPU. So we have a couple fun names on our roster here in the minors. So pitching wise, if you go far enough down here, we got Chase Anderson, 35 years old, I guess, trying to work his way back. And you got Jose Quintana making his triumphant return to the White Sox organization at a 65 overall D potential. You got Matt Moore, same thing basically. You got Matt Harvey. So yeah, I mean, if we were in the year maybe 2014, all of these guys would make for a pretty solid pitching rotation, but we're not. So they'll just hang out there in the minors for however long. Someone like Jose Ruiz is another guy I'd be fine with trading. I think we also have Matt Foster, same thing. Probably not going to end up being good enough to make it to our big league squad. Another fun name here is Ryan Zimmerman. He would actually, like, legitimately, if I could bring him up right now, I might, because he would be a better DH option purely against lefties than Sano is right now. I mean, 82-76 against lefties. This is like exactly what I was looking for to start last offseason. So I don't know, man. I don't know if we will get a chance to call him up, but if we do, and if like Sano or somebody is struggling, I don't know. He could have a spot. I don't think there's any other fun names here like those guys who have made their way onto our team here. But yeah, we don't really have much of a loaded farm system. I mean, I think I talked about it in one of the offseason episodes, one of the auto drafted players here. We got Phil Marks, who's a pretty solid prospect, only 18 years old and already a 62 overall. So if we play this March to October long enough, he could find a spot on our roster. Maybe like right around the time Trey Turner's contract is expiring, he'd be good enough to break into the bigs. We still have Colson Montgomery and Wes Kath developing. I think they should be pretty solid and almost ready to go by next season even. And I mean, obviously we have a long way to go. I'm going to go to the depth chart screen. But we have a long way to go before we have to think about next offseason. But I do kind of already have an idea of how things are going to go. It is showing now that Giolito has that contract symbol next to him, so he will be a free agent that we will probably try and bring back as a top priority. But Lance Lynn, I'll probably let him go. That'll free up 19 mil, but he's probably going to regress this year, probably not going to pitch as well as he did last year. And also by then we'll have Luzardo probably up to a 77, 78, so he should fit into the rotation just fine. Pollock, he'll be the same thing. He'll be regressing, 35. He'll free up another 12 mil. We got guys to slot right in, probably Vaughn, Mike or Adolfo even. I don't see him on this screen, but he's a 68 right now. B potential. He could be low to mid 70s guy by the end of the year. So if we put Vaughn in right and then he comes on the MLB team for the bench, that'd be solid. And we already mentioned Grandal. Probably won't be worrying too much about bringing him back. He's 34. He'll be regressing. We got Zach Collins, who should be good enough. I mean, he had a really good stint once we called him up after his fast track as the backup catcher. And I really do think his attributes are good enough to be kind of that transitional catcher for us. And then Liam Hendricks. That could also free up another 18 mil because I don't know about bringing him back at 34. We should have Crochet right at about a 90 by the end of the year, and he can turn into our closer. So that is going to do it for this first episode of season number 2 of the White Sox March to October. I do want to thank anybody who's still around after that month break. I don't really have an explanation for it. There's no reason to get into it. All you need to know is that I'm back, and the March to October should be back too. I'm going to do what I can to try and get it out every other day again like I was doing before. So yeah, guys, I hope you all enjoyed. Leave a like if you did, but I will see you all in the next episode.